Yay! Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Knit State of Mind podcast. This is Monday, December 28th, and this is episode 21. I'm Wanda, and you can find me on Ravelry as wattywat and on Instagram as Zest in Class.
And I'm Heather. I'm on Ravelry as heathertee and on Instagram as heathertee3. And we're also on Instagram as Knit State of Mind.
So thank you for joining us again, regardless of what your knit state of mind is at the present moment. We appreciate you for coming back. We appreciate new viewers and sharing this crafting fiber arts journey with us.
Mm-hmm.
So we have some finished objects, and we're also going to do our 2020 whip parade, end of 2020 whip parade today. So
right. Which will be much shorter than our end of 2019 whip parade.
We'll get Heather's update on Clear the Needles. And what was the other one? The Stash Down 2020.
Oh yeah, I failed at that. There'll be no update on that.
Hey,
that's for 2021.
That's the update, right?
Right.
Yeah. Cool. So I see you're wearing your Christmas sweater.
I am. Should we start with that? So I did finish my Christmas sweater in time for Christmas. I did not finish it in time for my work party on the 18th, but I did finish it on, I think I finished it on like Sunday or Monday, right? The 20th, maybe. Blocked it and then I wore it on Christmas. So this is the Canna sweater by Erica Kempf Broughton. And I knit it in Cascade Heritage in some green that I had left over, and then a whole bunch of different mini skeins. So all the details of what those are on my Ravelry page, but I'll just stand up for a minute. It's with my setup here, it's kind of hard to see the whole thing. There we go.
I can see it. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's that asymmetrical, and there's pictures of it on my Ravelry, and I'll probably post some on Instagram soon, but I'm super happy with how it came out. It fits really well. I think I maybe would have made it a smidge longer if I had had more yarn, but I figure I'm going to wear it like twice a year. So but yeah, so the pattern I talked about before, how the pattern, you make the asymmetrical portion by doing short rows. And I added additional short rows on the plain portion to even out the length. And I'm really glad I did that, because even with that, it was slightly shorter on this side and I had to kind of pull it when I blocked it. But other than that, it fits perfectly. Like yoked sweaters like this don't always fit me very well, but for some reason this fits me really well. It just like is exactly the right proportion. So I'm very happy with the fit, happy with the colors. It's festive. So
it's perfect.
Yeah. So, and I used up a bunch of leftovers. And so I'll just talk for a minute about how I dealt with the yarn. So I had like a skein and a half of the green, and I knew it might not be enough, and I was gonna steal some from a previous sweater that didn't fit very well anymore. So what I ended up doing is I did have to do that. So I needed, for the sleeves, I needed the yarn from the other sweater. But the reason I didn't make it longer is that I actually managed to save the other sweater.
Oh, you did?
So what I did is I forgot to weave in an end. What I did was I unraveled each sleeve. So this sweater originally had elbow sleeves, but what I did is I just sort of evenly unraveled. I knit like straight from the sleeve, basically. So I knit straight from the sleeve for this sleeve, and then straight from the other sleeve for this sleeve. And then because of the stripes, that meant that there was slightly more yarn on one side than the other. But I managed to save enough to make this cardigan into a little like short sleeve cardigan. So because I can still wear it over like a little jumpsuit or something.
Definitely.
So the neckline of this, which is Audrey and Unst, has an I-cord bind off. So I just took the sleeve that was a little longer and took that yarn and did an I-cord bind off for the little short sleeve.
That does, yep.
I debated using the rest of the sleeve to make the sweater longer. But again, I thought like, I'm going to wear this like twice a year. And if I can save this and still have it be usable. So that's what I did.
Yeah, I'm glad you were able to save it. I think
Yeah.
it's a cute sweater. And I love that color green. So
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah. So anyway, so I'm dying to know if you finished your Christmas gifts that you were.
Yeah, I finished them all, but I'm going to first let me get this out of the way because I'm going to stand up on the chair. Some people wanted to know how the Julia slit skirt looked on.
Oh, yeah.
It blocked, it dried. I've worn it. I've worn it up. I've worn it down. It's super comfortable. So this is the Julia slit skirt by Handmade by Kumbi. And I'm going to stand on the chair really quickly so people can see it. So
nice.
So this is what it looks like. I think Jennifer, this is the slit stitch pattern here, and then there's a little slit right there, and side angle. So yeah, that's how it looks on. It comes down a little above the ankle. So yeah.
And the decreases there near the waist really look like sewing darts, kind of.
I think so too. I really love the effect of that. So nice design touch. And I did add in the elastic like we spoke about last time. So and it impacted the fit for sure. So yeah, I love it. I wear it with sneakers, I wear it with boots, etc. It's pretty versatile. And I think it was Jennifer, one of our viewers, was asking about it stretching out. One of the things, and this came up with the testers, is that you have to use yarn that has acrylic in it, basically, to help with that. And so I think this yarn, it's the Plymouth yarn. I can't remember if it's 50% or 75%, but a pretty high acrylic content. So,
that makes sense. I hadn't really thought of that, but you're right, because wool is going to lose its shape.
And that happened to one of the testers too. They somehow salvaged it through blocking and
yeah, felting or something, but yeah. Nice.
Okay, so Christmas gifts, should I get into that?
Yes,
I had 2 left, right, that I was finishing.
I think you had the socks and the sweater.
Okay, so
yeah.
Socks. There are 2 pairs here. So these were done in time. You all, I don't have the other socks with me right now, but I finished 2 pairs of socks for my partner's sons. So this was the other pair, stripy socks. This was what, Fibrelya?
I think so. They were both Fibrelya, weren't they? Yeah.
Yep. And then you're probably wanting to know more so about.
Yes.
I should put
an ongoing text thread between us for days before Christmas, but I never heard the ending.
Yeah, that's true. Because I wasn't knitting for a little bit. Things were kind of crazy, and I don't know, things still are crazy. But I managed to finish this. I'm trying to remember where I was at what point. So we do gifts on Christmas Eve. So the socks were done. This was not done. I was still finishing the hood.
Right. Yeah.
Eve, actually. And then I finished weaving in the ends Sunday, actually. So this has been done since Sunday. Today's month. That's yesterday. All right. Yes, I did. So it hasn't been blocked yet, but he's been trying it on all along. We had to do some adjustments to the hood because the way it was designed, it was like pointy up here. But I don't know, I might have to stand for this too. And I realize if you haven't been watching, you don't know that this is the Montrealer.
Yeah. And is that an I-cord cord?
No. So I bought these.
Okay. Yeah, I can see why you did that because that would be tedious.
But yeah, so it has pockets. So lots of interesting things doing the pockets and the trim on the pockets. And there are German short rows in this. I love German short rows. I'm telling you, it's so much better than those wrap and turn. And then the hood. So the hood is done in 2 pieces and then you seam it together. And like I said, it was a little pointy here, so I had to adjust it several times. And then there's a trim here. There are pocket holes built into the design, and then when you seam it, you seam the drawstrings
Okay. Mm-hmm.
in there. And so
Yeah.
I like that touch, that attention to detail, and it feels amazing.
Yay!
So yeah, the Montrealer by Vincent. I think it's designed by Dells on Ravelry, Instagram, all of that. But yeah, it's done.
Yay. I can't wait to see modeled pics.
Yes, yes, we have to get that going after I block it.
Yeah. I don't know. I was thinking about saying this for this sweater. I don't know about you because both of us live in not spaces that are actually sort of large by city standards, but smaller spaces. Like we don't have extra rooms. And it's so hard for me to find the perfect time to block something because the only space I really have to do it is in my living room. So I have to plan around like when I don't plan to be moving around my living room a lot, or like,
yeah.
So, because it's also the same space where I do my yoga or Pilates. So I have to be like, okay, well, I'm going to do yoga on Monday. So I have to block it on Tuesday or whatever. So I don't know. Where do you block your stuff?
I block it in the bedroom. So I would love to block in the living room because there are a couple of different spots, but I have a cat and the cat will tear my knitwear up. So I block in the bedroom and I just take up floor space, but sometimes I'll do it on depending, like I block the skirt up here.
Okay.
Because it's long and narrow.
Yeah.
I was curious since it's such a heavyweight yarn. I was curious if it would dry quicker being higher, heat rises, whatever. So, yeah.
But you have blocking mats, right?
I do.
That's the problem. Maybe if I had blocking mats, because if I had blocking mats, I could block it almost like under the bed or like under my desk or something, because I pin it into, I have like a thicker rug, and that's part of the reason that I block it in there.
Yeah. And depending on what it is, you can move it around if it's on mats too, right?
Right. Yeah. And I don't have like half my living room out of commission for 3 days while the sweater dries. But anyway, tangent, but
yep. So that's it in terms of those gifts and finished objects. Do you have more finished objects?
I do have a couple more. So the first one is I have my other Audrey and Unst. So the same pattern, that this green sweater. I've been making one in black for, actually I just looked, it took me almost 2 years to finish it. I started it in January of 2019. So it's done.
Yay!
So it's a little hard to see, but there's a nice little lace pattern there on the yoke. And I probably the last time, well, I think I showed this at some point this summer when I thought I had finished it, but the sleeves were a little bit tight. So I had to reknit the sleeves. So this past couple of weeks, I reknit the sleeves. I still am not 100% happy with the fit of the sleeves, but whatever, it's good enough. It's better than it was before. And then I put on the buttons. I was just doing this like literally right up until we started recording. And the original buttons I had planned to put on, it turned out to be too big. They didn't fit through the buttonholes. And I realized I had a shirt that I was going to be giving away. And it had the perfect buttons on it. So I was like, all right, I'm just cutting the buttons off this. And so
perfect.
Yeah. So I'm happy with it. It's going to be so versatile. I haven't had a black cardigan for like 2 years because I started knitting this and I just thought, oh, I'm not going to buy another cardigan to replace that one because I'm going to knit one, and then it took me forever. So
hey, it's done. You'll get a lot of wear out of that.
Yeah.
Shout out to all of the black hand knits these days.
I know. And it's like not the most interesting to knit or to show on YouTube, but it is, I mean, that's a color that we all love. Right.
Functional.
Yeah. So I finished that. So that was my last 2019 or before WIP. So with that, I met my goal of
yay!
And that honestly, if I hadn't been doing clear the needles, that would have sat for longer because I just was like, ugh, I had to knit this sleeve and then I had to seam it because I knit it flat instead of in the round. It was like a whole thing, but I was like, no.
Thank goodness for clear the needle.
Get it done.
It serves its purpose.
Yeah. So, and then I have 2 pairs of socks. I knit a pair of Christmas socks. I bought some Christmas yarn from Tiny Human Knits. This is a very vintage Christmas.
Yes, I love it.
So I just knit these. I really like that she has 50-gram skeins. So this is basically an entire 50-gram skein. And then a different color for the heel. This is Madelinetosh in the color Heartbeat, which I thought, because I did it in the dark, was the same as this color, but it's not, but it still looks cool.
It looks good. Yeah. It looks
good. Yeah, so these are looking a little worse for wear because I wore them and then haven't washed them yet, but wanted to show those. So
yeah.
So those are just stockinette with a afterthought heel. And then a friend of ours, Laura, saw that I had made Shortie Socks and was like, what are those? And was like, will you make some of those for me? So I told her after Christmas, I will make you some. So I just finished these.
And she loves purple.
She loves purple. I sent her all my colors of Felici, like photos of what she wanted. And of course she picked the purple. So yeah. So just again, a little basic Shortie sock, and she'll be excited to have those. So
very sweet.
Yeah. So that's it. I think that's it for the 2020 finishes. I don't think I'll finish anything else in the next 3 days.
We need to take a moment to breathe.
Yeah.
Wow, 2020. You made it through. You cleared the needles. We've had some knitting, crafting adventures. It's a moment. It's a moment to pause and, appreciate what we've done.
Yeah. Yeah.
That same goes for all of our viewers. So
yeah.
Give us a sense of your 2020 year in review, or check in about how you did with Clear the Needles 2020. We'd love to get an update.
Okay, so that was my last finish of 2020. So should we talk about all of our WIPs that we're taking with us into 2021?
Yes, let's do it.
All right. You want to alternate or let's alternate.
Do we want to do categories? Oldest to newest?
I don't know. I like the idea of categories. Well, mine are almost all sweaters, though. I have only one of them's not a sweater.
Okay, so let's end with the sweaters. So let's start with I'll start.
Okay, you start.
I'll start with my most recent, and it's a hat, and then we'll take it from there.
Okay, sounds good.
So this is I'm actually still gift knitting. This is a hat. So Mark and I have been eyeing this hat. I think I told you about it a while ago. It's the Waving Hat by Stephen West. Oh, that's not going to be visible.
Oh, I don't think I've ever seen that one before.
He has a black and white version too.
Cool.
So we co-designed it. And this is where I am so far. Can you see that?
Yeah.
So it's knit in sections, and there are a lot of German short rows, which for some reason.
Oh, that's why you were saying you like the German short rows.
Yeah, I like the German short rows. So we're doing gray and cream, and it's worsted weight, and we're going to do some black as well. So, I forget I think this is Blue Sky Fibers that I'm using.
Okay.
Gray cream, and then this is the black from his sweater.
Okay.
I'm going to do pops of that. You can't really tell anything yet, but this is where I am.
It looks like a cool construction.
It is. It's flat and then seamed together in different parts. So he's been wanting another hat. We looked at a few weeks ago and settled on this one. It's funky. because we're also going to do the version with the ear flaps.
Uh-huh.
He's going to
Nice.
up, but so I'm looking forward to seeing how that comes together. So that's my most recent whip
Cool.
one. Do you have a hat?
I don't have a hat.
Okay.
I have mittens.
Let's go with the mittens.
So this is not my most recent, but it is not a sweater. So these are my wee mittens by Aner Birkin by Ava that I need to rip out because the gauge between the 1x1 and the other color work section I'm not happy with. So I'll be doing that soon, but I just haven't gone back to it.
Yeah. So that'll be enough. We have all of these things that we're going to both knit. So
yeah,
radar too.
So I am looking forward to I've been really itching to do some color work knitting. So I think I'll get back to these sooner rather than later.
Yes, I look forward to those. All right, so we have a hat, we have mittens.
I do actually have a blanket too.
I have 2 blankets.
Okay. Should we do blankets next?
Okay, let's do them. You want to kick it off?
Sure. Yeah. Sorry, I just got to grab it. So this is my scrap blanket. So I'm not really counting this I wasn't counting this. My goal was to get down to 5 WIPs. This is the 6th because I'm not counting it. So this is my crochet granny stripe blanket. And actually it has not changed much since you probably saw it last December. I've maybe added like 2 or 3 rows to it, but I've actually been really wanting to crochet. So I think I might get back to this. The problem is I had run out of, you can kind of see, I'm kind of alternating. Now I can't see because I'm covering myself up. I'm kind of alternating like a neutral and a more colorful. And I kind of ran out of neutrals, but I just actually discovered a hidden stash of partial balls of neutral colored yarn. So I think I can get back to it now.
And are those fingering weight?
These are fingering weight, yeah.
Okay. Cool.
So I'm using like a 3mm crochet hook, but
I
really love it, except for this one weird Oakland A's color yarn that I wish I wouldn't have put in there, but whatever, it is what it is.
It's a nice color. It's interesting because once you pointed to it, like now it stands out.
Yeah. It just doesn't, it's not the same like color family as the rest of them. Yeah. It's fine. So that's my blanket.
The granny square blanket always reminds me of my oldest aunt. We all had granny square blankets from her. So yeah.
Yeah, it's a classic.
Yep.
Yep. And so good for using like any color, any amount of yarn. Yeah.
Definitely. I have 2 blankets. I'm just going to my WIPs I'm going to show quickly because just so we have a record of it. I haven't made progress on any of these things, right? So the first blanket, and everyone who's been watching, you've seen these items too at some point.
I forgot. I was going to say, what's the second one? That's this one. I forgot about this one.
So this is the first one. It's the 4 corners blanket. It's a design by Pearl Soho. And this is using Pearl Soho's linen quill yarn. And it's a lovely yarn. And this is just a matter of picking it up, right? So
yeah, you're almost done. You're on the last section.
On the last section. So it's just a matter of prioritizing it, right? Like it's an easy knit.
Yeah, I've been kind of wanting to make another one of those.
I really do. I mean, I said it was boring, but I mean, I like the look of it and the feel of it. And when you just need stockinette, it's perfect. I mean, garter.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, and that's where the points meet. So that's that. 2021, I'm gonna finish that blanket.
Nice.
I'm committed. And then this is the other one. This one is the crochet one you asked me about last time. I'm trying to remember the name of the pattern. It's the continuous mitered square. And I would just show, I had this this same strip. As last time, and I had kind of mapped out how I want to do my colors to mimic the Pearl Soho design.
Right.
With it's like a diagonal fade sort of thing. But yeah, I'm going to have to review this when I finally pick it back up. But this is the Plymouth yarn worsted, and so this color here is actually the same color of my Julia slit skirt.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the color, the skirt is in the bulky, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep. So a hat for me, mittens for you, 1 blanket for you, 2 for me.
Mm-hmm.
Or 3 and 2?
Yep.
Okay. What's next?
Well, I'll show you my most recent. This is the only other thing I've really worked on since we last talked on the podcast, but this is a tale of woe.
Uh-oh.
So this is my Shifty,
Oh.
which you might notice is a lot smaller than it was before.
Oh, you got to try it on.
So I tried it on and it fit. It was definitely big enough, but I kept, well, 2 things happened. One is I was like running out of yarn. So this thing eats yarn. I don't know if anybody out there has made a Shifty, but the row gauge is so tiny. There's like 50 or 48 rows or something per 4 inches that it just like, it's amazing the amount of yarn in the main color that this uses. So I was like worried I was going to run out of yarn. And so I had split for the sleeves, and then I had only like this much, and I was like, I am not going to have enough yarn to do this and do the sleeves. And then I tried it on a few times, and I was like, you know what? I think this is actually too big. So I thought, well, I should just rip it out, because then if it's too big, if I knit the smaller size, then I will actually have enough yarn. Yeah. So I had to rip it all the way back, basically to the collar.
Holy.
So I did that, but it was good for 2 reasons. Well, I was glad I got to keep the collar because I didn't have to do the tubular cast on again. Mm-hmm. But I hadn't been that happy previously with how the first 2 rows up here look, because they're done differently than the rest.
Yep.
And it's still not perfect, but it's better than it was. I could have actually ripped it back to here, but I decided to just go ahead and go all the way back so I could fix that. So I'm happier with that. And also, there was a couple short row turns that I hadn't been happy with, and I used Japanese short rows, which I use on my twigs, and those are my favorite kind of short row.
Yeah.
So I use Japanese short rows, and I'm never going back. I will always use Japanese short rows from now on.
Awesome. That's some commitment to rip back and start Shifty, because it's an investment to begin with. So.
It is, but I really like it. Like every time I look at it, I'm like, I want this sweater, so whatever.
Yeah. I also want another night shift. I just want to figure out the colors a lot better. I don't know about investing in spin cycle, but I want a night shift that I love.
Yeah. I bet you could find a cool hand spun either on Etsy, or I don't know if one of our local yarn stores might sell hand spun.
Oh, I think and I also wonder, Neighborhood Fiber Co. has a new yarn.
Ooh.
That I think is similar. I stumbled upon it, so I need to revisit that, because I think I remember thinking, oh, that could be an option moving forward, but I don't know how much it costs there.
Yeah.
As well. Anyway, so I guess I'll show I'm just showing it because it's in the same place it was in.
Oh, is this your Shifty? You still have it?
I still have it. I still plan on making this baby. So is that even, the lighting's so bad now. It's late.
Yeah, it's gotten a little dark here, but yeah. But I love the colors you picked for that.
Yeah, I just can't, it's exciting seeing how it comes together.
Mm-hmm.
You can't see that It's artificial light now.
We're like in the same place now on our shifties.
Oh, it's worth time. So that's Shifty.
All right, I have 2 more sweaters. No, 3 more sweaters.
Okay.
I have Astragal, also by Einar Birkenbaeva. So this one again. I have to do some math because I messed up on my gauge swatch, so the gauge is tighter, so I have to add some extra rows for depth, and I just need to do the math and figure that out. But I've been wanting to get back to this because I've seen a couple people who have finished it recently, and I just love this sweater.
It is a beautiful sweater, beautiful design.
Yep, I'll get back to that soon. What's that?
That color is perfect for it. It shows.
Yeah, I think it'll be a good like all year round color.
Definitely.
So yeah, so I'm happy with it. I just need to sort out some mathematics.
Yeah. I think that's what happens with the items that sit in the WIP pile for a while. There's some technical thing to figure out, and just got to get over that hump.
Right. Yeah. Totally. Yeah.
Really quickly, I did not frog this. I still plan on making it. Oh, so I made it twice because the first one I thought was too small. So I haven't ripped this out yet, but that's the minaret.
Oh, okay.
I the name. And I think I'm going with this one. So this is at the beginning stages when I started over second size. So,
yeah.
I'll probably get back to that late. I don't know, but so I.
Well, it's short sleeved, right?
Yeah, so it'll be something that I'm aiming to have done this spring, in time to wear this spring.
Yeah, nice.
Spring is over.
So here's my spring project. I forgot it.
Nice.
I have my pin tuck t-shirt. Out of my Debbie Bliss silk that has been a number of things in its lifetime. And I knit a few rows on this every now and then. It's ready now to do the fronts, I think. So I have to actually go back to the pattern and see. So I'll probably finish this pretty soon, actually, because there's not a lot. I'm like here, so I just have to do the front and the back, and it's short sleeved.
That one is low hanging fruit.
Yeah. I don't love, oops, I just dropped a stitch. I don't love knitting with silk. And that's part of why I just don't like the feel of it. But I also feel like it's such like a luxury fiber that I don't want to waste it. I need to use it.
Yeah. So, yeah. A short sleeve shirt is perfect for it. Then.
So that's that one. You have any others?
I have one, I think, one more, which you all have seen recently.
Oh, right.
The back panel. I can never. That's the back panel on my Favo sweater by Fibrelya, Larka. Last time I think I was binding off the other side and I hadn't done both braids, but both braids are done now. And so.
Did you start the sleeves yet?
I have not. I'm going to start the front panel.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah. So this will be what I pick up next. Getting back to knitting for myself.
Nice.
So I'll work on this and the hat concurrently. But yeah.
Yeah. I've been really wanting to knit something like bulky or with mohair, so that might be what I do.
Yeah. I'm team bulky.
Yeah. So this is my last one. This is Piece of Silver or Pieces, I don't know, something of Silver by Vera Velmaki. And this is the one where you can see, for some reason, even though I was alternating skeins, there's like a big stripe there in the middle that I just can't live with. So also the turtleneck is a little bit too long, so I'm just going to rip back about an inch into the turtleneck and redo the body, unfortunately. But I love this yarn. It's kind of hard to see, but it's like orange and white marled yarn.
What is that?
So I'm going to love this when it's done. So it's worth putting the time in. So I just got to rip that out. And I think I'm going to actually reskein and wash the yarn because this I knit when the yarn was still all curly, and it even with blocking it still you can kind of tell. So I don't want that to happen to this one. So I'll.
And which yarn is that again?
It is Loop Fiber Company.
Oh, the yin yang ones.
The yin yang, and it's above and below. I don't know which. I think it's above. I also have whatever the other color is, but I'm not using it for the sweater. So
I do like that color a lot.
Yeah.
With the specs.
So that's it.
Wow. Way different than last year's parade.
I don't know, box upon box upon box of.
Seriously, what a year brings.
Yeah.
So where does that leave us? You have how many WIPs?
I have 5 plus my scrap blanket, so a total of 6.
And I have what? 1.
I think I wrote down
6.
6 also. So we're tied. I caught up with you.
Yay! That's easy.
Yeah.
Oh, damn. There's one I did not show.
Uh-oh. Do you have more WIPs than me?
I swear that this didn't happen on purpose. I just forgot because it's behind the computer. A real serious oldie right here.
Oh, yeah.
You can't see this with the light.
No, but I remember it's a texture, right?
Yeah, it's the morning coffee socks. And it's this really beautiful navy Malabrigo.
Yeah.
So
it's
interesting.
I won.
You won. I think I'm gonna finish these.
Yeah, you should. They're really nice.
They are.
Yeah.
So for folks, these were I had originally casted these on like last summer, not this summer. And these were going to be a gift for my partner's son. And then I changed my mind. But I like them. And look, I'm literally on the foot.
Yeah.
All the sock knitting I've been doing, I know I fly through. Well, not fly through, but for me, I fly through them. So I can knock out the foot in no time.
Yeah, you can. So and they can be for you, or they could be for Mark if you don't want them to be for the original recipient anymore.
Exactly. They'll probably be for me now.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you won. It's not, we're just not for fun.
It's not, but I am excited to. I think I'm going to try and finish Shifty. Actually, I might try to finish maybe all except for the pieces of silver, because that's a bigger project because I got to wash the yarn. But I think I am going to try and finish those other 3 sweaters before I start something new.
Oh, I like that. That sounds good.
I might start one like bulkier project. Something here, but
do you have a sense of what bulky project you want to do, or?
Well, there's a couple like cardigans that I've been thinking about making. But then I also have, this would be more DK, but I have that Aine sweater with the olive mohair, so that might meet my need for like a little bit of a thicker project.
That one's been on your list for a while. I remember getting the yarn for it at Stitches West almost a year ago. Well, the mohair for it.
Right. Yeah. And then the buck sweater, which has like a deer intarsia on it that I've been wanting to make forever. That's another one that I might make. I don't know. We'll see how I feel. But right now I am motivated to get a few of these things done.
Yeah. And we do have the intarsia knit along coming up sometime in 2021.
Yes, we have. Have we talked about that on the podcast yet?
I think we mentioned it briefly last podcast. But we'll, when we figure out the dates and deadlines, we'll share it with you all. But let us know if you're thinking about knitting something. And Tarja, we both have plans, or we've been talking about it. I have a cardigan in mind. So that'll be coming in 2021.
Yeah.
What else? We've been talking about a lot of things.
I'm gonna turn the light on because it's getting super dark in here. I do want to try to stash down. I was doing really well with that basically until the summer, and then I just started buying yarn again. So I'm gonna, now that I'm not trying to get through all my WIPs, I think I was buying yarn because I was like finishing all my WIPs and I needed like novelty in my life. So now that I don't have all these projects hanging around, I can enjoy my stash.
That makes sense. Okay, so I like that, knitting through the stash. And I want to refrain from buying more yarn. I've purchased a good amount, particularly during the pandemic, and I have plans for all of my yarn. So I just want to work through the stuff that's in my queue and my current WIPs. So and I want to make the wee mittens still. I've been dying for some color work, the wee mittens, and then I want to make a cowl. For the longest, I've been like, just the one loop cows. I've kind of been like, what's the real purpose of those? And now that I've been on a couple of just like long walks while it's cold out, I could really, in the Bay Area in particular, I can see the use for the cows and for the mittens. Just pull it on and off, keep my fingertips warm. So
yeah, I've been wearing that scrappy lace weight cowl that's just once around all the time, especially with a sweater or sweatshirt that has this type of neckline.
Yep.
Because the cowl just sits on there and basically like covers up what would be covered up with more of a crew neck. Yeah.
Yep. So thinking about functionality and really just working on knits and sweaters that I know I'll wear. Yeah.
And being just, more intentional about, choosing things. I'm just repeating what you said, choosing things that I know I'll wear because, and that's what, even though I've been like really wanting to knit a bunch of bulky stuff, I know I won't wear that much. So I'm trying to hold myself back from not purchasing anything that I don't already have. I have a few like bulky quantities that I can use, but after that, I need to remember that what I'm going to wear is fingering weight.
There you go. I hear that. I'm excited though. I'm excited. It's continuous, but this is kind of like a moment of pause and resetting and gearing up for our next knitting season, pretty much.
Yeah. But we still have some good winter left, which is,
oh yeah,
it's probably gonna get warm here until like May, so we've got lots of time.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we also have the knit-alongs the make-alongs that are wrapping up, right? Clear the Needles 2020. I guess we'll plan to draw winners for the prizes for our next episode in 3 weeks.
Yeah. So I do have some of the prizes here with me though.
Yeah, let's share.
So those, sorry about the flickering from my overhead light. It's gotten very gray outside. So we have for both and for winter ready too, right? The winter ready make along. We also, so we have a couple skeins of yarn. This one is from Serendipitous Wool. It's the Poseidon color, superwash merino and nylon.
It's a beautiful color. I love their colors.
Colors. Yeah, they have great colors. I have a couple other colors of theirs that I really like. And then this is from our local yarn shop, the Black Squirrel. And this is as bright as it looks there on the screen. She's been doing a ton of these like neon tweeds.
Yeah.
It's kind of like her signature thing. So
Yep.
we have one of those. And then we have some stitch markers from La Serena Tejera. This is a little mango con chile and a Vicks
The big one. Yeah.
So yeah, those will be, we'll be talking about how we're going to draw for those next time, right?
Well, we're going to do the draw next
We're going to do the draw next time. So for Clear the Needles, here's the thing. So we were talking about
the Wisp booklet and the Farmer's Daughter yarn that we showed on the last episode.
Yes. So for Clear the Needles, we were talking before about how we hadn't really considered like even doing a giveaway, but we've appreciated the amount of participation and so many people that have shared their projects and cheered us on to finishing our projects. And that's been like really like a highlight for us this year for sure. So I'd be pulling some winners from the chatter thread there, and we're just going to do just like a couple different draws because we have a couple different prizes. So everyone will just have one entry and then we'll figure out who wins.
Sounds like a plan. And we'll do a similar thing with the winter ready make along thread chatter. Just list out the names and pull a prize for that. And I think we'll probably check the Instagram hashtag. And if there are several entries for Winter Ready and Clear the Needles, we'll pull from there as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Next episode.
Next episode. Yeah.
Cool. Sounds good.
Right. Well, we're losing our light, so I guess that means it's time.
It's time. Nature is telling us to wrap things up.
So thank you so much for all of your support throughout 2020, and we're excited to head into 2021 with you all. We'll be back in about 3 weeks.
Wonderful.
Bye, everyone.